Charles Oliveira's world goes black. Ilia Topuria, Spain's unrelenting warrior, just demolished a legend in the first round at UFC 317, seizing the lightweight title and cementing himself as a two-division UFC champ. The MMA world is in. Pandemonium fans are roaring, doubters are silenced, and rivals like Paddy Pimblett are throwing shade from the sidelines. Is Ilia Topuria the unstoppable force of a new MMA era, or will a challenger dethrone him? We're diving deep into the chaos, the knockouts, and the high-stakes wars awaiting El Matador right here on Prime Bio. Let's set the stage. Ilia Topuria's story isn't your typical MMA fairy tale. Born January 21, 1997, in Halle, Germany, to Georgian parents, Ilia grew up in a world of struggle and resilience. His family fled conflict, landing in Alicante, Spain, a place with sun, sea, and zero MMA culture. No gyms, no coaches, no blueprint for greatness. Just a kid with a fire in his gut and a dream to dominate. Ilia was drawn to combat like a moth to a flame. Greco-Roman wrestling came first, teaching him discipline, grit, and how to outmuscle anyone. He wasn't just good, he was a prodigy, grinding through grueling practices while others slept. Then came Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, where Ilia's obsession with mastery shone. He didn't just train, he lived in the gym, earning a black belt at an age when most fighters are still learning arm bars. But Ilia wasn't done. He wanted to be a complete weapon, so he turned to boxing, sharpening his fists into sledgehammers that could end fights in a blink dot. By 2015, Ilia stepped into the pro MMA cage. Spain's fight scene was a wasteland, but Ilia was a tsunami. He didn't just win, he obliterated opponents with submissions, knockouts, and a terrifying intensity. His record? A flawless 12-0 before the UFC came knocking in 2020. Ilia Topuria wasn't just ready, he was built for war. October 2020. Ilia's UFC debut against Youssef Zalal was a trial by fire. Short notice, tough opponent, and the bright lights of the cage. Most rookies would have buckled. Ilia? He made it look like a sparring session, controlling every moment to a unanimous decision. That was just the warm dash-up. What followed was a featherweight massacre. Damon Jackson choked out in minutes. Ryan Hall, the submission wizard, who baffled everyone. Ilia sent him to the canvas with a first-round knockout, proving his hands were as lethal as his ground game. Then came Jai Herbert, a striker with dynamite in his fists. Herbert rocked Ilia early, and fans thought it was over. But Ilia smirked, dug deep, and unleashed a second-round combo that left Herbert face down in a heap. The fight that turned heads. Bryce Mitchell, December 2022, undefeated, unorthodox, and a wrestling machine, Mitchell was supposed to be Ilia's kryptonite. Experts said his relentless grappling would overwhelm the Spaniard. Instead, Ilia turned the fight into his personal playground. Outstriking and out-wrestling Mitchell in a beatdown so one-sided, it silenced every critic. Then came UFC 298, February 2024. Alexander Volkanovski, the featherweight GOAT who'd crushed Jose Aldo, Max Holloway, and everyone else. Fans scoffed at Ilia's chances. Too young, they said. Too green. Ilia didn't care. From the opening bell, he hunted Volk with speed, power, and precision. Round 2, a picture-perfect right hand, and Volkanovski crashed. Ilia Topuria, the kid from Alicante, became Spain's first UFC champion. The arena erupted, and a new era was born. Fast forward to UFC 308, October 2024. At Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi, Ilia faced Max Holloway, the former champ, fan favorite, and a man with an iron chin who'd never been knocked out. The crowd chanted Ilia's name, and the tension was electric. Holloway came out swinging, landing sharp jabs in round 2, testing Ilia's resolve. Fans thought Max was taking control, but Ilia was a predator, stalking his prey. Round 3 bomb. A right hand rocked Holloway. A crushing left hook followed boom. Max collapsed, and the ref waved it off. Ilia Topuria did the impossible. He knocked out Max Holloway, the first man to ever do it. Post-fight, Ilia was pure class, saying, "I can hardly believe I defeated a legend like Max Holloway. He's an inspiration." Holloway, ever the warrior, responded, "No excuses. He was the better man." Ilia's record stood at 16-0, and the MMA world was buzzing, but the lightweight division was calling. June 28, 2025. UFC 317 at T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas. International Fight Week. The stakes? The vacant lightweight title. After Islam Makhachev moved to welterweight. Ilia Topuria, king who vacated his belt, versus Charles Oliveira, the submission maestro with a record 20 UFC finishes. This was new blood versus old guard, and the build-up was insane. Ilia predicted a first-round knockout, saying Oliveira's reckless style would walk him into a fist. Oliveira clapped back, boasting his striking power and promising to sleep Ilia. X exploded with arguments: could Ilia's featherweight frame handle the lightweight beasts? Or would Oliveira's experience and guillotines end the hype? Round 1 was chaos. Oliveira targeted Ilia's legs with vicious kicks, trying to cripple him. Ilia fired back with laser jabs, slicing Oliveira's eyebrow open. Dubronx shot for a takedown, but Ilia stuffed it like a veteran, flipping Oliveira to the mat. Oliveira scrambled for a leg lock, classic chaos. But Ilia danced out, back to their feet. Then it happened: a right cross cracked Oliveira's jaw. A left hook bang. Oliveira was out cold at 2:27 of round 1. Referee Mark Goddard stopped it, and Ilia Topuria was crowned lightweight champion, the 10th UFC fighter to win titles in 2 divisions. He climbed the cage, roaring to a frenzied crowd, but the drama wasn't over. Cage side, Paddy Pimblett, Ilia's longtime rival, started jawing. Ilia fired back, yelling, "If you're ready, come on, you blonde B************. A shove, a scuffle, and security swarmed. The MMA world was on fire. Ilia, single quotes, as 17-0, a 2-division champ, and the most dangerous man in MMA. But the challengers are circling like sharks. Let's break down the wars waiting for El Matador. First, Paddy Pimblett. The Liverpool loudmouth has been beefing with Ilia since their amateur days. After UFC 317's cage-side clash, X went nuclear. Paddy's got slick submissions and a massive fan base, but Ilia's precision boxing and wrestling could turn this into a slaughter. This isn't just a fight, it's a grudge match, years in the making. Is it time for Ilia to silence Paddy for good? Next, Diego Lopes. The Mexican featherweight phenom's been gunning for Ilia since UFC 308. Lopes is a walking highlight reel, fast, chaotic, and deadly. If Ilia drops back to featherweight, this could be an all-out bloodbath. Lopes wants the belt Ilia left behind, and the trash talk is already vicious. Then there's Alexander Volkanovski, the Aussie legend Ilia, dethroned at UFC 298. Volk's been grinding, swearing he's cracked Ilia's code. A rematch would be personal Volk's legacy versus Ilia's reign. Can Volkanovski reclaim his throne, or will Ilia prove he's untouchable? And don't sleep on the lightweight division. Arman Tsarukyan's grappling could test Ilia's defense. Justin Gaethje's brawling style could spark a fight of the year. Even Islam Makhachev might return to 155 for a super fight to reclaim his belt. X is a war zone, some call Ilia the pound-for-pound king. Others say he's dodging elite grappling. Who do you think Ilia should face? Drop your pick in the comments, and let's start a riot. That single quotes as the epic saga of Ilia Topuria, the Scottish warrior tearing through MMA like a wildfire. If this got your blood pumping, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell to join the Prime Bio Fight Squad. In the comments, tell us, who's Ilia fighting next? Pimblett, Lopes, Volkanovski, or a dark horse like Tsarukyan or Gaethje? Want more MMA chaos? Check out our playlist for breakdowns, predictions, and pure fight insanity. Let's keep the fire burning. See you in the next one on Prime Bio.